get the pleasure of reading a story today. This story is called Each Kindness. It's written by Jaqueline Woodson and illustrated by E.B. Lewis. The illustrations in this book are fantastic, so as I'm reading, if you could pay attention to that, that would be fun. The book was published by part of Penguin Group, Nancy Paulson Books. That winter, snow fell on everything, turning the world a brilliant white. Looks like Chautauqua County, doesn't it? One morning, we settled into our seats, the classroom door opened, and the principal came in. She had a girl with her and said to us, "This is Maya." Maya looked down at the floor. I think I heard her whisper, "Hello." We all stared at her. Her coat was open, and the clothes underneath looked old and ragged. Her shoes were spring shoes, not meant for the snow. A strap on one of them had broken. Our teacher, Miss Albert, said, "So say good morning to our new student." But most of us were silent. The only empty seat was next to me, and that's where our teacher put Maya. On that first day, Maya turned to me and smiled, but I did not smile back. I moved my chair, myself, and my books further away from her. When she looked my way, I turned and looked out the window and stared at the snow. And every day after that, when Maya came into the classroom, I looked away and I didn't smile. My best friends that year were Kendra and Sophie. At lunchtime, we walked around the schoolyard, our fingers laced together, whispering secrets into each other's ears. One day, while we were near the slide, Maya came over to us. She held open her hand to show us shiny jacks and a tiny red ball. She'd gotten them for her birthday. "It's a high bouncer," she said. But none of us wanted to play, so Maya played a game against herself. That afternoon, when we got back into the classroom, Maya whispered to me, "Bet you can't guess who's the Jack's champion of the world." Behind me, Andrew whispered, "Chloe's got a new friend, Chloe's got a new friend." "She's not my friend," I whispered back. The weeks passed, and every day we whispered about Maya, laughing at her clothes, her shoes, the strange food she brought for lunch. Some days, Maya held her hand to show us what she had brought: a deck of cards, pickup sticks, a small tattered doll. Whenever she asked us to play, we said no. The days grew warmer and warmer. The pond thawed. Grass began growing where snow had once been. And one day, Maya came to school wearing a pretty dress and fancy shoes. But the shoes and the dress looked like they'd belonged to another girl before Maya. "I have a new name for her," Kendra whispered. "Never New. Everything she has comes from the second-hand store." We all laughed. Maya stood by the fence. She was holding a jump rope, but did not come over to ask us if we wanted to play. After a while, she folded it double, rolled the ends around each hand, and started jumping. She jumped around the whole schoolyard without stopping. She didn't look up once. She jumped, jumped, and jumped. The next day, Maya's seat was empty. In class that morning, we talked about kindness. Miss Albert brought in a big bowl, filled it with water. We all gathered around her desk, watched as she dropped a small stone into it. Tiny waves rippled out away from the stone. "This is what kindness does," Miss Albert said. "Each little thing we do goes out, like a ripple, into the world." Then Miss Albert let each of us drop the same stone in and told her what kind thing we had done. Joseph had held the door for his grandmother. Kendra helped change her baby brother's diaper. Even mean old Andrew had done something. "I carried the teacher's books up the stairs," he said, and Miss Albert agreed. I stood there holding Miss Albert's rock in my hand, silent. "Even small things count," Miss Albert said gently. But I couldn't think of anything, so I passed the stone on. Maya didn't come to school the next day, or the day after that. Each morning I walked to school slowly, hoping this would be the day Maya returned, and she'd look at me and smile. I promised myself this would be the day I smiled back. Each kindness, Miss Albert had said, makes the whole world a little better place. But Maya's seat remained empty, and one day Miss Albert announced to the class that Maya would not be coming back. Her family had to move away. Then she told us to take out our notebooks, and we were going to do spelling. That afternoon, I walked home alone. When I reached the pond, my throat filled with all the things I wished I would have said to Maya. Each kindness I had never shown. I threw small stones into the pond over and over, watching the way the water rippled out and away, out and away. Like each kindness, done and not done. Like every girl somewhere, holding a small gift out to someone, and that someone turning away from it. I watched the water ripple as the sun set through the maples, and the chance of a kindness with Maya becoming more and more forever gone. We all have friends, and it's great to have friends. We enjoy our friends. In this time when we've been isolated at home, some of us haven't seen our friends very often. But sometimes there's someone new, and maybe we need to be friends with them too, or at least show kindness to them. When I look at this picture of Chloe and her friends looking at the jacks and the red ball, I can just feel how Maya wants to be friends with them, and they won't let her. Can you imagine how you feel after you watch an empty desk that someone had sat in? The desk is right next to you, and it's a constant reminder that you did not show friendship when you could have. I hope you'll all consider when we get back to school or when you're out that some people don't have as many friends as you might have, and it would be a great kindness if you could be kind and show some friendship to that person. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed our